leading the nation in school communications, award-winning D93 News starts now.
Hello and welcome to D93 News presented by Idaho Farm Bureau. Thanksgiving is right around the corner and our community has stepped up in a big way. We put a lot of thought into this when we learned that the organization that normally supplies turkey dinners to families in need would not be doing that this year in D93.
That's right, and so as you probably know, we decided to reach out to our community, and boy, did you guys respond.
Just awesome to see. We wondered whether or not we'd be able to get enough funds to provide Thanksgiving dinner for the families that really needed them. Our community really came through. Our families came through. Just tons of generous donations. Costco reached out to us as well and added hams to the boxes that we're able to provide. So just can't say enough about the generosity of our community. And as I read through some of the requests for those Thanksgiving boxes, just absolutely touching stories, some people in some really hard circumstances. I'm so grateful I get to live in a community where we show support and love for the people that are really struggling.
Now, let's stay with the culinary theme and head over to Bonneville, where history was made in Miss Hall's culinary arts class.
This is incredible. Sam, Miss Hall has been teaching for a minute, but never has she had an entire class pass the super challenging Serve Safe Manager's Level certification. You guys made history. I mean, Mrs. Hall, she's been teaching this for a while. Nobody has done what you guys just did. How good does that feel?
It feels pretty good, being like the biggest class that's gotten all past it.
What did it take? Like a lot of studying, I imagine?
I feel like it was Miss Hall's teaching. I want to give it all to Miss Hall, honestly. Like, it makes me feel good that Miss Hall feels good about it. So, yeah. But
And a lot of studying of what Miss Hall gave us to study about instead of just like going off and studying on our own. She gave us a lot of the material we needed to use.
Miss Hall's a great teacher.
So this basically means the students have certification to manage any restaurant in this country. That's incredible.
That is incredible. Good job, kids. Well, next week, we are taking you to the culinary workshop with our amazing child nutrition team. You won't want to miss that story on next week's D93 News.
Now, the Hillcrest Knights are in the high school football version of the Final Four. If they can beat Skyline again, they'll most likely be heading for the Rusty Taco road trip to Boise for the state championship game. Now, that game could be played in eastern Idaho if Pokey beats Bishop Kelly. Of course, the Knights would still need to take care of business against the Grizz. Now, kickoff between Skyline and Hillcrest is scheduled for Friday evening at 7 o'clock at D93's Thunder Stadium.
And you'll have all the coverages. I'm excited for that. Speaking of Rusty Taco, we are proud of our partnership with them. They have given a lot to D93, and on Monday they provided a couple of huge taco trays for two of our schools during Collaboration Monday.
Our teachers and our staff are so excited that Rusty Taco is providing tacos for our teachers, and it's just amazing. It's amazing that they're willing to do that for our teachers because they work so hard and they really deserve it.
Now the results are in, and Paul Jenkins received 63% of the vote. Now, speaking of the board, there's a board meeting tonight, and one of the highlights is that we expect the board will name the new elementary school that voters approved the bonding for back in August. We had some great suggestions, and I'm really excited to see what the board decides after all your community feedback.
Great suggestions, and yeah, that's going to be good. And now it's time for our ERMAC Health Minute. This week we were talking about something I'm familiar with.
Jason Lord.
Jason Lord, he has me beat on that, but picky eaters.
Picky eaters, yeah.
Hi, I'm Peter, a speech-language pathologist at ERMAC Pediatric Therapies. Today I want to talk to you about picky eating. One of the common things we hear from parents is that my child is a picky eater and what can be done about it. So if your child is a picky eater in the way that it maybe affects their ability to gain weight, it affects their ability to participate like with other kids their age at like birthday parties or field trips, or they have just really narrow lists of categories of foods or consistencies of foods, we would love to try to help your child gain some coping skills, find strategies to be able to expand their list of foods that they will at least try to learn about, so that way they can enjoy food just like every other kid their age. If you think your kid could benefit from this, please talk to your pediatrician and get a referral for ERMAC Pediatric Therapies.
Good stuff right there. And I was just talking to Colleen over at the PIO at ERMAC, and we're gonna do some cool things with ERMAC next year.
Nice.
So there's a little teaser. Here's another teaser. A couple of A-10 Warthogs are going to be flying over Thunder Ridge and Black Canyon as part of the Veterans Day activities here in D93. And Sam, they're talking about maybe flying over some of our other schools as well.
Yeah, if they can coordinate it, they're going to fly over Bonneville and Rocky Mountain. If they can coordinate it, they have not confirmed that with us yet. But if you hear rumbling above your houses, then you know.
Yeah, that's a crazy cool plane. But speaking of military pilots, Lori Biggs caught up with her brother in the We Are D93 podcast, which is back on Spotify, so you'll want to go give that a listen. You can find a link to that on our Facebook page. But for now, that's going to do it for us.
We'll see you next time on D93 News.